Okay, so I don't know how long this video is going to wind up being. I'm probably just going to kind of let it run while I kind of tinker with this thing. So if it gets boring, just fast forward or move on to another video or whatever. But so there's been some discussion as to what this part actually is. So I figure I'll probably go over that first off. So this is the back side of the apron right here that we're looking at. Okay. Here's one of the cups that this worm gear rides in. The other cup, is currently installed right there. And this is supposed to ride, well, that one won't fit in just yet, but this is supposed to ride right there, and then that worm gear will drive the worm wheel here, which in turn will spin this, and depending on which position this is in, it will either engage with the gear that drives this gear here that rides on the rack and gives me longitudinal feed, or if it's up here, it'll engage with a gear that's missing from here that will engage to a gear that drives my cross slide. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what the correct name is for this worm gear. Its technical name within the Logan lathe apron, so I'm just calling it the worm gear. And just for my own reference, before I forget, just in case, I want to go ahead and order another apron casing. This is the LA-526-1-X casting. I've seen that on eBay already, so I'm debating whether or not to go ahead and buy it and just make all the guts for it. I think that would save me a lot of time because it looked like it was fairly inexpensive for just the empty cases. So that I may go ahead and do. But at any rate, right now, what I'm trying to figure out right now is what size I need to make these bushings, diameter wise, and how much further they can extend this way. So the first thing I need to do, this bearing end cap slid right into place with no problems. This bearing end cap is really hanging up pretty badly, or at least so far it has been. Anyways, there's some nasty burrs on the bore here, so I'm going to go ahead and hit those burrs and try to knock them down with this little itty bitty baby hone. And I'm going to try and kind of clean this up a little bit. There's a nasty ridge on the outer diameter of this as well. So I'm going to try and kind of tinker with that a little bit. And like I said, I'm just going to leave the camera run, so it's going to get kind of boring probably up until about the last few minutes of the video, as I start to hopefully have some idea on the dimensions that I'm going to be shooting for. So basically, once you see me get down a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, that's when you might want to tune back in. So otherwise, until then, it's just going to be the dull stuff. Ouch. wonder if I kind of need to get a little bit of oil on that to help those out in there. Feels like it might have taken the burrs away already, at least. This is still super, super tight, so let me give that a spray of WD-40 and hit it one more time with the hone. Once I find the oh, there it is. Needless to say, I don't do a lot of honing, so this isn't something I'm overly familiar with. I can't even remember. Oh, I think I used this hone the last time on the dividing head. Dividing head? Yeah, I think the dividing head's what it was called. Okay. That looks better. Now it's a little shiny on the inside. I guess I did need just a little bit of lubrication of some kind. Think it wouldn't hurt me to kind of deburr this outer edge a little bit also. Let's see, how am I going to do that? Oh, I think I might have something for that. Well, I guess not quite what I thought I had, but see if I can get in there with the drill and kind of lightly touch that and see if that'll do it. Okay, let me grab some safety glasses real quick. See if I can just very carefully just kiss the outer edge of this. Yeah, that looks a little better. Okay, it definitely is going in the right direction. I just need to spend some time cleaning up this just a little bit. Let's see here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably pause the camera and I'm just going to spend some time with some sandpaper and maybe some files, maybe the stone, and clean up this outer diameter a smidgen. So really not going to be anything to watch for a little while, so this is a good time to hit the pause button. Alright, with any amount of luck now, I've got these cleaned up to where they should go back together fairly efficiently or fairly effectively. Supposed to take what looks like a 1/4 20 grub screw, set screw, whatever you want to call it, right here. The information I've seen online is suggesting it's supposed to take the doubled up ones, basically where they lock themselves together. So I don't know if I got those in the original parts bin for this or not, but I'm gonna just throw some 1/4 inch something in there in the meantime. There's 1/4 inch. So I can start trying to take some measurements here. Assuming, of course, this will still slide together and I didn't goof it up. So it looks like these guys will go in most efficiently from the inside. There we go. Actually, got it reversed. This is the one that fit good on the other side. This one fit good on this side. There we go. There. All right, let me get a screw in there. Kind of hold it in place temporarily. And see if I can get this one installed. Okay. Now the nice thing about it is after I've got them situated like this one at the least looks like it'll move out far enough for me to be able to insert the worm gear. So let's see what we get for some measurements here. Okay, that one's in there nice and firm now. Now this is going to be kind of sketchy to get a measurement that I want here. So basically what I'm trying to do is get an approximate measurement from the back side of this lip here to the back side of the lip on this other one. And now that I've got these installed and looking at this a little bit better, it looks like there's a lot less material left on this here than there is on this one over here, as far as the lips are concerned. If I can make these two parts swap, I may wind up doing that, because I still yet need to bore out the inside diameter of these bearings, and I need to square up the end here and this lip, if not just make brand new bearings. But we'll see. Maybe that might be the smart thing to do, is just make brand new bearings. But for now, let me get some measurements here, or try to get some measurements. Or get a measurement as best as I can, I should say. Basically, I'm going to go oversize on these, on the sleeves or bushings that I put on that anyways. So in theory, they will eventually get cut down, because the other thing I don't realize or don't know for sure is how much radial clearance I want and how much end clearance I want either. So those are something I'm going to have to either kind of fiddle with or do some research on. And I'm probably in you guys' way, but kind of got to see in here a little bit too. Okay. 2.947. I'm going to zero that. Oh man, that's a lot of difference. That is about 428 over this size of this. So I'll have to divide that by 2, and well, actually I don't even know if I want to divide it by 2 because there's more wear on one end of this thing than there is on the other. Okay, so that gives me some measurements for the overall length of this, or at least something to shoot for. The next thing I need to kind of get an idea is the diameter of the bushings. And what I'm kind of thinking is I should just kind of start making the bushings for this worm gear, and then whatever it feels comfortable or works out to be is possibly just make these bearing caps match that diameter. That may very well be the direction I go. So I don't know if I'll have another video this evening with regards to this process here or not. It just depends on how quickly I can decide how I want to proceed and what dimensions I want to try and shoot for. But yeah, that is, if I divide that up about 1/4 of an inch extra on each end, that's about how that would set. So that's a lot of extra material, which is fine. It's definitely lost a lot of material. Let's see here. That's about 1 inch in diameter. $70, 80 thousandths difference. So I need like something with a 40 thousandths wall thickness bushing for both of these approximately. And then of course this, whatever sticks out here, is going to be thicker in wall thickness. So okay. All right, so I got a lot to think about with regards to this, but at least this gives me a starting point. I'm really tempted to open these up quite a bit more, because that just seems like that's just way, way too small. In fact, I almost wonder if these were bushed before, because there's a chamfer here and then a flat here. It almost looks like there's a chance that could have been the case at one point. I'm going to give that some thought. I might open the diameter up on that quite a bit to give it more of a bearing surface back here, thrust surface, to give it more of a thrust surface. So we shall see. Yeah, because there's not a lot of extra room here for this to clear the lead screw. Whew. Okay, yeah, this is kind of a treat because I don't have any print to go off of. I'm just kind of winging it and trying to figure out, you know, what clearances are going to work, what isn't going to work. Hopefully the first time around, but let's face it, first time around doesn't always work for me anyways. So anyways, hopefully I'll have another video later tonight.